Drew Brees basically saying Baker is going to be a better version of Drew Brees in years to come. See, what do you make of that?
Now, Drew Brees he's literally one of the faces of the NFL. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, and just not because it's quarterback play, but the type of man he is. Former Walter Payton award winner as far as his charitable stuff that he does off the field. It's been well noted, but Drew's a good man. He's a great leader. He's one of the greatest leaders we have. But even Drew can be wrong in doing this. I remember when Larry Fitzgerald was coming into the league, and everyone knows I've been knowing Larry since he was 13, 14. People ask, well, how good Larry going to be? I could have easily said, Larry's going to be better than me, but I know better. I know how high that bar would be, and I wouldn't say that to Larry to put that pressure on him. Drew Brees, you can argue he's the greatest passer that we've ever seen. Now, you can say Aaron Rodgers got more talent, but he ain't got the numbers that Drew Brees has. You're talking about completion percentage. You're talking about touchdown to ratio. You're talking about yards. All these things. Drew Brees is amazing. Now, just because the packages are wrapped the same, and I do believe that him and Baker have some of the same intangibles. But, man, I need to pick out another smaller guy. I believe he can be as good as Russell Wilson. All right? Like, I just can't. Drew Brees, man, he's in a special class. He's one of the best 10 quarterbacks we've ever had all times. He's that good. I got that much respect for him, and he's that kind of leader. What's Baker's body going to be like when he's 35? Drew Brees is a workout warrior. He takes care of his body. We don't know those things. But Drew's a nice guy, and I like what he's saying. Yeah, Baker does have a chance. But Drew Brees, we need to pick someone else. Like, because Drew Brees, it's not fair. I was there when Aaron Rodgers took over. I asked Greg, what about Aaron Rodgers? He said, man, he's going to be special. He didn't say he's going to be better than Brett Favre, though.
Sometimes you just don't know. But I don't mind Drew Brees saying this. I don't read anywhere deep into it, though. It means nothing to me because Baker Mayfield has a lot to prove. Forget trying to be better than Drew Brees. Just trying to start a game and take that Cleveland Browns team where they desire to go. Something that Drew Brees did when he got to New Orleans, a team that they were the Cleveland Browns at the time.
It's a great.
And he revitalized that organization. So when I look at that, just doing that, the way New Orleans is, they're a contender every single year because of Drew Brees. That is a huge order to stand next to. And so again, I don't mind Drew Brees saying it, and I think with him saying it, it's kind of like, he can be better than me. Does he really believe it? I don't know.
Well, listen, a month from today, assuming Brees plays every game, going up to a month from today, Drew Brees this will be his rankings in NFL history. First in completions, first in completion percentage, first in yards, second in touchdowns. That's where he'll be a month from today.
Man, before Drew Brees came to New Orleans, he wouldn't have believed he was going to be
right.
seriously.
You know who Baker Mayfield needs to be worried about being better than?
Tyrod Taylor.
How about Sam Darnold? Because he's going to get the job over Tyrod at some point, but they took him over Darnold. And Darnold, and we haven't seen Rosen yet, Lamar, and Josh Allen, the whole crew, but Darnold's the only one to have played because Baker can turn out to have a great career. You always are compared to the other quarterbacks you're drafted against, you're drafted with. And so there is that element to it. That's the thing Jared Goff has to deal with as well once Carson comes back. Because they could have taken Carson 1. They took Jared Goff 1. So, until you have that level of success, you're always going to be compared to the guy that your team could have taken.
You know what I get? I know what Drew Brees was alluding to. He was talking about the pregame speeches.
Oh, yeah, now they are.
He was talking about because when I see
some of that.
Absolutely. When I think that has to be what he's talking about because Baker Mayfield, Drew Brees, very passionate. Both have a swagger about them to where their level of play can promote them giving that type of speech to a team at the quarterback position, which is you look at a quarterback. I was down in Miami, and Ryan Tannehill would try to give those speeches, those pregame speeches. And when your level of play doesn't really meet that speech quality that you need, it's kind of in one ear and out the other.
I think that's what Dirk Cutter was talking about when they put Fitzy in there, and he got the results compared to Jameis Winston. We've seen some of Jameis's pregame speeches, so I think that speaks to what you're talking about, Greg.
So I was going to ask you about that. I was going to say, well, when you look at a guy like Baker Mayfield, what is it besides the passion, obviously, for the game and the passion to start this career? I mean, I never haven't seen a kid come out of college in so many years who wants so desperately to really just play football. What is it in his game that you see that Brees could be talking about?
The size. It's the reason he's talking about it is the size. Brees was, you mentioned Doug Flutie earlier when we were joking about the Bills. Prior to Brees, Flutie was the comp as far as, like, what's the peak, what's the ceiling in a modern NFL for an undersized quarterback. Brees changed that. Vic changed it a little bit, but he had such a different game.
Russell Wilson.
And then Russell Wilson came after. Like, it is because they are the two shortest starting quarterbacks once Baker becomes a starter in the NFL.
I think from a football standpoint, Drew Brees has also looked into the information because also, let's not forget, New Orleans was looking for a quarterback to transition. So they did a lot of studying on this group of quarterbacks coming out. Because potentially they could have drafted one if one would have slipped to them. But I think it's about this. Drew Brees, what is he great at? Accuracy. And also, Drew Brees is just as accurate getting off the number 1 going to 2, 3, and 4. That's the way Brady and Rodgers are. That's the way Baker Mayfield was in college. He's so accurate with the football, and he's also a smaller guy who knows how to throw the football with his body. Russell has it straight over the top. Drew Brees has it right here straight over the top. And Baker has that same type of throwing motion. They utilize their whole body, and they're very, very accurate. The difference in Drew Brees and who Baker Mayfield is, what part of this journey is he going to meet Sean Payton? Because Sean Payton is a game changer now. Sean Payton devised all that offense and everything. Last year, Drew Brees played great. Broke the NFL record, 72% completion. He threw the ball a lot less because Sean Payton decided to run the ball. So Sean's ability to be creative and with the personnel and the people that they've drafted has allowed Drew Brees to go into the upper echelon of all the quarterbacks. Man, 99% of all of us, we need help. And Drew Brees got help. I remember Drew Brees going off the field with his shoulder like this, locked up. That's what I remember. Then he went to New Orleans. They made the investment in him. And Sean Payton and Drew Brees walked this thing out together. When is Baker Mayfield going to get that? That's something we don't have the answer to right now, Greg.
It is. And I go back to what you said, Nick. It's the size. Like, it's clearly the size that makes Drew Brees even mention this. I don't really see their throwing. The accuracy of Drew Brees, he's so accurate. He's so great.
He's the most accurate quarterback in the history.
The stats don't lie. Like, and we talk about accurate quarterbacks. We think of Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Like, it's Drew Brees, and he throws probably more than any one of them.
Until last year, more than anybody.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So for him to be this accurate, it's a tall order for Baker Mayfield. But
no pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended.
There you go.
Well done.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.